You want something my dad left, you'll get something my dad left. I'm so disappointed for that. Okay.
This is just karma, people. Like, you didn't do anything. You just found other people, other men in your life. Shoes being thrown at people. Tears. We want blood. We want illegal things happening. Welcome to Latinas Unmasked.
Welcome back, guys, to another week of Latinas Unmasked podcast. I'm your host, Zuleika.
And I'm your favorite pelona, Caro.
So, let's get to the theme of this episode. Caro.
Yeah.
The theme of this episode is a theme that we both very much like.
Ooh, and how we like it.
Oh, yeah. The theme is called Petty Revenge or Genius Comeback.
Revenge, just as we love it.
Revenge, it's gonna be mine.
I think, when it comes to the top 3 things that satisfy the modern human as of today, I'd say number 1 would be revenge.
Yeah.
Number 2 would be canceling plans, with anyone, doesn't matter if friends or with whoever. And the third biggest satisfaction would be sex, I think, but, I don't know.
My opinion was that the third is sharing your, giving your opinion on everything, as we do. I mean, it's basically the whole podcast.
Right.
But sex could also be weird.
Right. Well, but then it's all about revenge today in today's episode.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me more about it. Tell me more. What do we have? What do we have?
So
today?
this time I took all of our stories from the subreddit r/petty revenge, and we're just gonna see if what we think. You're gonna rate the stories if those stories really are petty revenge and it's like that really wasn't necessary, or if we think this was a genius comeback and that well deserved.
Okay.
So let's dive into it. I'm really excited for this one. Okay. Our first story, or the title of our first story, is Last Minute Mandatory Saturday Training. Fine, but you're gonna feel that mileage.
What?
Sorry. Already messed up. We're starting great. Okay, but let's see what the story is about.
Yeah.
It has 3.6k upvotes, so it is quite a good story, I think.
Oh, okay.
By the way, just in case I didn't tell you, the upvotes are just an indicator of how popular the story is.
Like the likes on Facebook.
There's theoretically also a downvote button, but some of the rules of Reddit is that you should not downvote as much. So the upvote just indicates how good a comment was or how good a story is. So it is pretty popular if it has 3.6k upvotes.
Oh, okay. Good
it just
to
means
know.
people liked it, the story, or found it interesting.
And now we are going to judge if it's really worth it.
Yes, we are. So, 15 years ago, I worked at a company that had regular mandatory training courses throughout the year. They always gave us plenty of notice, and we, co-workers, would usually carpool together to make the 1-hour drive less boring. And it also saved the company money as they paid for mileage.
So that's how many kilometers they do when driving the car.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
we're talking from a very wealthy country called Switzerland, so and I do not need to use any cars to get around. But
overall, I wasn't sure what the word was hinting at. It could also be like the miles, for planes.
I think that will be the biggest danger of doing this podcast, that people will realize how dumb we are actually. But anyway, just continue. Let's just
it's just I had a different connection when I read that. I was thinking of Miles and More, the program where you can earn miles when you go traveling. And
let's move on and pretend we know what that actually means. Okay.
Okay. Let's continue. There would be 5 employees in one vehicle, which was fine. But after a few years, the company became really, really concerned with their profit and seemed to no longer care about the employees. So one day they decided that employees had a mandatory training, but it was the following day, a Saturday, with not even 24 hours notice. They didn't care that we all had plans and families. The training was mandatory. So I went to every employee and shared my concern that the training tomorrow was way too short notice to carpool. I made sure we were all aware that it was too late to arrange a carpool for the 1 hour drive. We would all have to drive ourselves. So the next day, 45 employees drove their own vehicle to the training. The parking lot was full and some had to park in an overflow area or on the street. The admins were livid on Monday when they got 45 millage, oh my goodness, sheets turned in and found out how expensive a last-minute mandatory training could be. Someone needs to send me a video on how to say that word.
To pronounce it.
How to pronounce it.
Yeah.
But I think 45 miles sheet, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the story. So the revenge here was actually that they all drove alone and the company has now to pay for it. So do we think this is petty, or is this a genius comeback, or is it just...
It's just a fair comeback. You know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it's genius, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they had to figure out how they could do the comeback in
Yeah.
a very intelligent way. It was
Yeah.
just like common sense kind of.
Actually, it was. I think,
strategy.
yeah, honestly, it's not less that he planned anything and just got back to them. It's really more that it's just a logical thing that had to happen. It's like, you know, the company was dumb and now, well...
That's the price
of
doing a short
gotta pay
notice
now.
training. Yeah, so...
yeah.
I mean, as a Latina, I don't think that this is a story worth mentioning in the, you know, petty revenge or genius comeback kind of category.
Well, you know, to my defense, I tried.
Right, sorry, you're the one who's in the stories.
To my defense, who
Yeah.
does all the things, plans those episodes. I try not to read the story. I always kind of try to read the title and just try to go as much blind into this reading as I can to get, you know, my honest reaction, my blind reaction.
Yeah.
So I may, from time to time, kind of take a boring story because it's really hard to you know.
No, this is nothing against
But yeah,
it, but just you agree with me that this is like kind of it's
not-
very popular.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you know, honestly, the comments are even shocking to me because our top comment is the word glorious point. And it's like,
Oh my god. Okay.
I mean, he didn't do anything. He informed the company, and yes, they were... Oh, I mean, I get the part that HR was that admin was super angry about it. I mean, I understand. But then again, it was some CEO dude or whatever, admin board of the company that decided that, and they just did dumb things. Companies do that all the time. It's like, well,
I mean,
joke's on you.
Yeah, genius or glorious. Those are kind of overrated adjectives for this story.
I mean, the next commenters wrote simple, effective, at last moderately petty, totally justified, impossible to argue with. Everything it should
I like
be
that
for
comment.
r/petty revenge. Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
So I think maybe where they live or in America, this is really something. Maybe this is such a huge issue or something where people just feel furious the companies do those things, where they want you to drive all alone instead of doing a more budget-friendly thing, and then they're like, well, then at least pay. Because I feel like in our country, would you do a carpool? Because I feel like we all would be like, no way in hell I want to carpool. I want to drive alone. Like we're used to be, you know.
Yeah, well,
Go with
that's
our
true.
own tune.
We need to consider that maybe this is happening in a country where employees do not defend their rights as much as we do in this country. So yeah, sorry for that. Sorry.
I think we're just so used
for being
to,
privileged.
Yeah, we're kind of used to that. If we have to go somewhere, it doesn't matter if we work on I mean, people do. I mean, take my husband, for example. He drives with his car all the time, and he drives alone. They don't do carpool, and the company pays. And it's like, yeah, I mean, okay, then they pay.
It's just,
I mean, okay,
like
I get
normal.
the fact that it's really annoying to get it short noticed. I mean, if you
Yeah.
have plans on Saturday and then you have to go.
Yeah.
But I would have to say, if I would have been in the situation, and I would have been angry about the fact that I had to cancel my plans on Saturday to go there. Just having the company pay for the fact that I drove alone and everyone else too would just feel so not enough. Like, I would be more angry than this, okay? Like, they need to pay more.
They need to bring more to the table.
Like, pay me for the time I had to give up.
But okay, anyway,
Yeah.
next story. Let's
Yes, continue. Yeah.
I think that's all we've got to say. Sorry that we do not understand why something that is so basic to us when it comes to employees' rights is a huge deal for you.
But then again, you know what? Write in the comments what you think, and write why it could be such an issue, or why this is a glorious comeback. Maybe like explain it to us. We would be happy to read your comments.
That's true.
Maybe you can bring us some light into the situation. But yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
So the next story, let's see if this one is a little bit better. The title is Revenge on Abusive Boyfriend.
Oh, that sounds more like
Promising.
a telenovela revenge. I want to listen.
Very promising. Okay, let's see. I made the mistakes years ago of dating and living with a very verbally abusive guy on and off for about 2 years. He was an extreme control freak. He had a job where he was required to travel almost 100% of the time to other states, so he would be gone for 4 to 5 days every week. The corporate office where his boss was located was in another state. He didn't want to travel because he couldn't control me if he wasn't home. So he would talk to customers over the phone instead of traveling to their location. However, he still wanted the thousands of dollars in expense money that he was used to getting every month. This was 30 years ago, so technology was still somewhat primitive. He would fabricate receipts and create fake expense reports to submit. Whoa, damn. His boss kept requesting the original copies of his receipts, and he would spend hours on the phone with them arguing until they would finally just let it go and pay him. He did this for at least a year, so it ended up being a lot of money, over 50,000
Wow.
at that time. Wow. Damn.
You know, when you put in the effort,
Of being a bad human being.
you can gain the money.
Woo, yeah.
Yeah.
Be a fraud, but do it right, After I left him and he was safely in a new place, I waited a few months and called his boss and told them what he was doing.
Whoa. No, but that, I mean. Okay.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay, that is badass. Okay. I knew my ex-neighbor and I ran into him a couple of years after that. The neighbor told me the sheriff and FBI showed up at my ex's house and he was charged with fraud and embezzlement. I don't know if he went to jail, but of course he lost his job and his house and car and had to file bankruptcy. It was a sweet revenge.
But I mean, what kind of person makes you, you know, to be with a person that does bad things or illegal things and just tell the truth when you are already not involved with him, you know?
Well, I mean, considering that she said he was abusive to her. I mean,
right. I forgot
remember,
that part.
he did all of that. I mean, he did that to profit himself. But first and foremost, he did it because he didn't want to go away because he could not control her then.
Right.
So
Sorry, I forgot that
being
part.
in this abusive situation where he was so controlling, and then, you know, first of all, it takes guts to leave such a relationship. I read in an article, I think, that it takes someone like 7 attempts to leave an abusive relationship. 7. I mean,
God.
that is so. Congratulations to her to leave the relationship, and you know, getting that sweet revenge and just doing something that is actually even right. I mean, she reported him. Oh, it's just, honestly, I love it. I mean, well done. Like,
Like, applause.
Yeah.
Emoji. Yeah.
seriously, I think it's badass.
Yeah. definitely. Yeah, I just think it must be so satisfying when you see the effect of karma working, on the person who has done, not the right choices.
I mean, yeah, that must have felt so good. I mean, as I said, and I'm pretty sure all of the money that he gained from it, he probably, well, he never shared it with her, obviously, but also maybe even used it against her in some form. So must have felt so good. Top comment. Congratulations and well done. He had it coming. Yes. And people replied under that, he only had himself to blame. If you've been there, okay, well, if you've been there, if you had seen it, I'm like, what? I'm sorry.
If you had been there, if you had seen it, if you had felt it, if you had, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
If you had been his wife, if you'd have been the worker, the employer, the boss, if you know what I mean. If you'd been there, if you would be him, if you'd be.
If you would be just so poetical. Next comment said.
Okay, you did that was the comment. That was it. Oh my god.
That was all.
Oh my god. Okay, next comment.
That's why he was staring at it like, what do you want to say with that?
Okay, we don't get it. Okay, next comment.
Next comment. You're an inspiration. All I did to an abusive husband was scrub the toilet with his toothbrush and put it back in the holder. Then I walked out the door and his life.
Okay.
I would count that as petty revenge, but in a good way, kind of. I mean,
right.
Yeah,
it seems
so
insignificant,
disgusting.
but it's not. But
that's a foolproof way to never get back with your ex, because you just have to think about the fact that he's brushing his teeth with a toothbrush that was, that you just dipped in the toilet. So even when you were close to him and you felt that attraction, you would be like, oh.
Yeah,
no,
exactly. Like I couldn't kiss you ever again.
No, never, ever again. So someone replied to that. That's pretty awesome too. Good job. And someone else wrote, congratulations on being able to escape this controlling and manipulating freak. Always make sure you leave the piece of shit the first time he hits you and never look back. Yeah.
So, petty revenge or genius comeback? I think it would be like a genius comeback.
I think it is a pretty genius comeback, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, all she did was just, make the office aware of the things he was doing, and he was rightfully charged.
Exactly.
So I think that is pretty genius. And she can just walk out of his life and be like, well, my conscience is clear.
Exactly.
Because, actually, if you think about it, let's say that would have come out in a different way, not via her or something. Who knows? Maybe this could have been falling back on her and he would have claimed that she was somehow involved or anything. So she even saved herself by doing this, because then he cannot claim her to be any part of this.
Yeah.
So, genius. Well done. Well done. Ready for the next story?
I'm ready.
Good. Let's move on. So this story also had 2.2k votes. So let's see if it's worth the hype.
If it's about employees' rights or not in a country we do not relate to.
Well, let's see. The title is, So, you want something my dad left? You'll get something my dad left.
Oh my god, what is that? I don't know. I don't want to know what your dad left. I don't want to know what anyone's dad left. That sounds so gross and incorrect somehow. Okay, but okay.
Let's see. I'm so curious what this story is about. What do you think it is about, though?
I don't want to know, really. Like, from the title alone, if you would just give me that sentence, I would never want to know the truth, to be honest. But we'll now.
Where are your thoughts going?
I don't know, like a used condom. I don't know, like, or something gross that they leave at the bathroom, after waking up. I don't know, after shaving. I don't know. Or yeah,
Okay,
or some Playboy magazines. I don't know, like I was wondering into that direction, or some very embarrassing pictures of you. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, that would be harmless in comparison.
Right.
Okay. As context, my dad died 3 years ago. Oh, okay, sorry. Now, my dad, then brackets, died 3 years ago, had a crazy girlfriend I call Clara. I've written some stories of conflicts with her that happened about 20 years ago. She was a scumbag with us. After my father died, she tried to obtain info about us through common friends of Dad. We asked them to say nothing about us to her, but obviously respect personal space wasn't one of her strong features. Well, she decided to show up in my dad's house, bother my sister, tell her that we were family, and ask her if her heart was so kind to give her a gold ring my dad got from my grandfather. My sister was very disturbed and only managed to say that she would talk to us about the matter. Clara gave her her new address if we wanted to go see her, and left. When Sis told us the matter, we agreed to gather and talk. So we decided to go to the restaurant owned by one of Dad's best friends, Lou. Lou was happy to see us, and we shared great stories about that. Suddenly, Clara's name came up, and Lou told us that when she worked there, she asked for some money using Dad's and Lou's bond that she never gave back. Back then, Dad started to pay back, but he died, so Lou gave up the money owed. It was about $1,500. I laughed and asked Lou if he would like to ask Clara for the money. He said he was remodeling, so the money would be very useful. I asked Lou only one condition. I would drive him to Clara's home. Okay. We gathered the next week, took the ring and Lou with us, asking him to wait in the car until I called him. Clara was so happy to see us and asked if we brought her what she asked. I said yes and showed the ring. But I'm gonna give you something even better. The opportunity to honor my dad's memory and word. Never contact us again. So I asked Lou to come as we left for the car with the ring. That was it.
What was the revenge here? Sorry, I like, I'm a Latina. I was expecting shoes being thrown at people, people, family members telling the truth about each other in the most ugly way.
The bar was higher, and it was not. Well, as I understand it, instead of giving the ring, she kind of told her, or I give you the opportunity to pay back the money, something like that. I'm confused too, honestly.
Okay, so let's read the comments. What do people say about it? Maybe that helps.
The first comment is, I would have loved to see the look on her face. Then after that, OP actually responded to that. Well, after she saw the ring, it was the most Gollum face I've seen in real life.
Oh my God.
My precious.
Oh my God.
And someone replied, I bet it was precious. Someone else wrote, what kind of ring was it? Typical man's ring aren't worth that much.
Right.
Then
that's something I ask myself right now.
Yeah. And OP responded, it was kind of big. With my grandfather's initials, I suppose I could say it was like those Super Bowl rings players get, just a little smaller. Okay. Then the person replied, did you ever hear anything from Lou on what happened after you left? Yeah, that was the most interesting part. What happened then?
What happened?
OP responded, Lou went back in the car with us, me and my sister. Clara paid $200 and agreed to pay monthly. I suppose I should go to Lou's restaurant for a nice dinner and an awesome chat. Okay. So the revenge was just, taking the person to her where she owns money still from. It's not that satisfying. It's not really. I mean, okay, I get it. She wants the money back, but it's like.
By the way she's delivering the story, it's just a petty revenge for me.
Yeah.
If you can even call it a revenge.
I mean, I think I think the petty thing is not giving the ring, but then again, it's that's just fact. Why should you give the ring? I mean, it's a weird. Okay, wasn't as awesome as I expected it to be. So sorry.
It's okay. I mean, the people on Reddit are the ones who decide which stories are the most popular ones. And
Honestly, yeah.
And apparently, you know, people care a lot about work conditions and payment methods.
Yes,
Then,
it's the financial thing. We should have expected this from Swiss people, like working conditions and payments. Like, wow, that is the story.
Oh man, okay.
But
what is it for you? Petty revenge or genius comeback?
honestly, I don't think it's really genius comeback, but it's I mean, yeah, they talked to a person and that person was like, yeah, I should go to her to ask for my money back. And they were just like, yeah, I'm gonna come with you and not give the ring. But it's also not that petty. It's moderate. It's like, okay, well, it's some sort of revenge, but I expected more.
Is there like a Reddit only, you know, a subreddit that is like revenge stories, but only of Latinos or only from Asian people, or, you know, like depending on your ethnicity?
No,
cultural,
but you know what? Let's read one story more.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm gonna let you decide. Maybe you pick the better one.
Okay.
So, we have the first story that you can decide between is, I made my manager's ugly baby uglier.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
The other one that we could, my ex's ex and I unknowingly got revenge on our ex. That sounds complicated.
Can you repeat that?
I'm
too dumb.
My ex's ex and I unknowingly got revenge on our ex. So it sounds like two women have the same ex and they got revenge.
Right.
Or the third story, get rid of my cat. Okay, I got rid of your dogs.
Oh my god, never involve dogs and cats, okay? I don't want to know.
So which one?
Oh my god, no. I'm gonna get mad at the people that used cats and dogs for their revenges. So let's read the story of the ex's ex.
XXX.
Yeah, the XXX.
Okay, let's see. My ex's ex and I unknowingly got revenge on our ex. I, in my 20s, female, was dating a guy, let's call him Brian, for about 9 months. He broke things off with me to get back with his ex, Jenny. He didn't want to live his life not giving them a second chance to see where things would lead. I was crushed and angry. I would look them up on social media occasionally and later found out Brian and Jenny got engaged. Shortly after I met my boyfriend, his name is Brian too. Oh, okay.
That's confusing when you use an anonymous name.
Yeah.
That it has the same name as your boyfriend. Brian and Brian.
But probably they have the same name, whatever it is in real life. And
whatever, you can still change it. Whatever.
Okay, good. Around that time, I got a text from a number I didn't have in my contacts. I asked who he was and they said, it's Brian, the one and only. Haha, what a loser. I ignored him. Little didn't he know I was dating a Brian, so certainly he was not the one and only I knew. Wow, okay.
Wow.
I looked him up on Facebook and saw him and Jenny were no longer together. Jenny was with a new guy also named Brian.
As if there wouldn't be enough Brians in this world, honestly.
So, anyway, my boyfriend Brian and I got engaged and have been married for 10 years now. And Jenny, she married her second Brian too. It makes me laugh and feels so very good to think this guy thought he was so special. Revenge is sweet, especially when I didn't make much of an effort.
Okay. What are your thoughts on it?
Is
it revenge? This is just karma, people. Like, you didn't do anything. You just found other men in your lives and he was left forever alone. But you didn't shit.
No, really not. It's just like, I really hear like, you know, my husband's name is Luca and his best friend is Luca. And I know so many Lucas out there. So it's basically as if I broke off with him and got with another Luca. And it's like, haha, I married this one, so you. It's like
they put too much value into the names, I think. Yes. You know what I was expecting? The type of story I was expecting? I was expecting something like that she found out that he was cheating, and then the other woman found out that she was cheating, as well, that he was cheating as well, and then that they would do something together in order to him up and rip.
That's also what I thought. That's where my head went. I thought that there was this guy, Brian, that was cheating on both of them with the girls, and then they found out and they put them together to get revenge on him.
Exactly.
I'm so disappointed right now. Like, okay. Like, wow. You date people that call Brian, which kind of only feels like, so you had a thing for Brian that much that you're now happy you got another Brian? Like,
exactly.
I don't even care about my exes anymore. It's like, okay.
So like your revenge was to move on. Like, wow.
With a second version of your ex. Like,
and all of them are called Brian.
If I would be the husband reading this, I would feel bad because I'm like, am I just your replacement of him? Like, oh, you find another guy that is similar to him? Like,
what type of man did you imagine when you hear the name Brian?
The typical, football guy, like he.
Right, me too. Me too. That only drinks beer with his friends.
The vlog guy, the super cool one, popular. All
having
the girls want to be with him.
American football T-shirt all the time. That's right. Oh my god.
Exactly that.
You Bryans are so basic, I swear.
Well, let's see the comments.
Yep.
Top comment, you can make a movie, The Life of Brian.
The Life of Bryans.
Bryans, yes. Someone replied, still one and only by himself. Okay. Someone else wrote, he was the one and only person sleeping in his house at nights all alone. Okay. I wonder how long it will take before any of you realize you're married to the same guy. Classic Brian.
That's a good one.
And someone wrote, where's the revenge? Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. The title sounded so good. I just feel like I've been clickbait, where the title sounds with a lot of potential.
Yeah,
just to end
I feel
up
betrayed.
With such a average story.
Someone else replied, I mean, I don't really see revenge here. It seems more life happening. At least he broke it up with you and didn't cheat. Someone else thought about it. So
everyone was thinking about cheating.
Yeah, and OP replied to that. I did leave out a lot of details to keep it short, but first, Brian was verbally abusive to me, and it was starting to get physical.
Damn.
And someone replied to that, or are you realizing your story didn't make sense for this thread, so you're trying to make it more interesting?
Oh, roasting the OP on Reddit. Right.
And OP replied to that, not at all. Are you saying that I'm making up my abuse? They're having a fight in here.
Suddenly it got too personal about her
It
problems.
is really personal, but yeah.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Thank you, internet. Thank you, people who
Thanks
promise
for your
too
choice.
much and do not deliver.
At least I don't feel as bad anymore right now because, also choose one that was kind of, the title sounded more interesting than the story actually was. So
that happens.
Maybe
very
that
often.
subreddit isn't as, it's more of a clickbaity subreddit maybe.
Right. Or
Okay.
people do not understand what we really understand under revenge,
What kind of revenge we wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone please, get
I
us the
was
revenge story we
yeah.
want.
we want tears. We want blood. We want illegal things happening.
We want to laugh and say, yes,
Yeah.
that was what we need to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But okay, you know what? Let's move on to our last section again, our
let's do
palate
that.
cleanser where we ask questions. So the question for today was, Reddit, what's your best, funniest personal example of petty revenge?
Oof.
I'm kind of hoping now that those are less disappointing, so let's see if we can kind of salvage this here.
Yeah.
Okay, so first story with 1.4k upvotes. Let's see. This happened a while back. Study hall in 8th grade, actually. I was always brought 2 small sandwiches to school, so I could have one at lunch and one in study hall since our teacher let us eat in that class. One day I was about to eat my sandwich. I get up to use the bathroom. As I walk back in the classroom, I see the kid in front of me eating my sandwich. I was pretty annoyed, but nothing serious at this point, so I confronted him politely and he denies it completely. With crumbles.
Right.
It was me.
So, okay.
I left my sandwich on my desk the next day just to make sure it was him, and what do you know it is? So, on the 3rd day, I hatched a plan. I put habanero cheese on my sandwich and then doused it all in ghost pepper sauce.
Oh.
As I know, as a fact, I think that is one of the most spiciest sauce. So,
Oh, really?
I think,
Crazy.
yeah, if it's what I think it is. That shit was everywhere, but it luckily didn't smell spicy. I get to study hall and my plan works flawlessly. I leave my trap sandwich on my desk and get up to use the restroom. This time, I take as long as I can and end up wandering the halls of the school. After about 10 minutes, I came back into the class to be greeted by the sandwich thief crying hysterically with a bright red face waiting for the hall pass. He was in the bathroom for the rest of the day.
Oh.
See, that's the kind of revenge story I was hoping for.
Yeah, me too.
That is a good one.
That's a good one.
He made it so spicy. See, that is a genius comeback. You know, he made the sandwich so spicy and then extra stalled as long as he could around the bathroom and outside because he knew he was not able to go to the bathroom if he would stay outside. And, you know, turned out great.
But I feel a little bit, you know, I do feel empathy towards the boy who steals other people's sandwiches because he's so hungry and maybe can't afford the sandwich, and that's why.
Man, but if that would be the case, why not be honest? You know,
that's true.
To
Like,
own up to it and be like, "I'm so sorry, I was just hungry." He denied it.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Blame on him.
blame on him.
Yeah.
So top comment to that. As a spicy food lover, I highly approve of this revenge. You love spicy food, right? As a Mexican.
I
here.
love it, but you know, there are times where, you know, you realize the boundaries that your tongue has, and I've really experienced that.
Really?
You know, eating too much spicy and then deeply regretting it. So that is a revenge that I do not wish anyone to experience.
What did you eat that was so spicy?
Like a jalapeno that was like, I don't know, it was one of the spiciest jalapenos I've ever eaten.
Okay.
And I ate the whole thing at once, you know.
I'm not a very good spicy either. I am really sensible to it.
Yeah.
And I remember one time in the office, we ordered food. Mm-hmm. And what I actually wanted to order was the yellow curry, which wasn't spicy because I knew I was really sensitive. And I kind of mixed it up because I was the one ordering the food. And instead of ordering the less spicy one, I ordered the super hot one.
No.
It wasn't just green curry. It was extra hot green curry. And me being innocent and thinking, when I opened it, I saw it was green. I was like, oh, I think I ordered the wrong one. Mm-hmm. But I thought, maybe it's fine if I just put in some milk or something that might neutralize it. It did not. Or at least not enough. I tried a tiny itsy bits and died in front of everyone.
It's, yeah.
I cried so much.
Never underestimate the power of chili. Yeah.
And I was like, who is even able to eat something like this? Turns out my working colleague was able to eat it. And where's he from?
India?
No.
I mean, being racist is...
He's Latino. He's also Latino.
Mexican?
No.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no.
Tell us.
No, he's from Argentina.
Okay.
But he loves spicy food. That's actually just... I wanted to do high tension here.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Want to hear another one? we have a longer one where someone wrote in. Or do you want to hear a shorter story?
Yeah, let's do a shorter one. Maybe if they are more concise, they're better. That's right.
Maybe there's something that is kind of worth our time. Let's see about this. Posted this previously. My ex cheated with a married man. He now lives with her. He is a piece of shit. But anyway, I still have logging for her DVR. I don't know what that is. I logged in, erased all her shows, then recorded only the show Cheaters.
Oh my God.
Petty, but it makes me laugh. Edit, additional info. I also set the shows to be manually erased and stop recording 3 hours after the show end time. That is funny, actually. You know, going on Netflix or something similar and then just being like cheater.
Oh my God.
Or another one. A guy at work pissed me off. I placed his Craigslist ad with his phone number. 2 free goats. Hablas español. He spent the rest of the day getting calls every 15 minutes or so.
That's a good one. That
is a good one. I like it. Oh, I have one little small one. Kid stole my water bottle. I opened it up and left it inside his backpack. That's just mean.
But I love it. I love it when you get revenge on children, you know, because children are little devils. And when you get the chance of having your revenge with them without doing anything illegal or getting the parents' disapproval,
but putting an open bottle in the backpack is mean. Oh my God.
But I love it.
You know, you're just walking, putting on your backpack, and it just drops water. Just everything. Okay, well. Let's make just this one and then, yeah. Speeding up a coworker's double-click speed and watch him squirm when his normal double-clicking speed isn't working.
Oh,
that is very petty. Yeah, okay. But that was it for today. Sorry, it was kind of a little disappointing, but...
But next time, if you're Latino and you have a better revenge story, let us know. Because, you know, we were expecting like the type of telenovela revenge. And we are clearly unsatisfied with what's going on Reddit. So if you have a better story, please let us know in the comments. Or if you
saw a better Reddit story, please send it to us. Then we can kind of redo this episode
Exactly.
Yeah,
we need to find more better revenge stories.
Maybe we need to plan a revenge story that we can post and then read, you know.
Exactly. That's what we need to do.
Who should we do this on?
But anyway, we gave it a try.
We hope you still had fun at least, or you could join in our disappointment somehow.
Exactly.
In a good way. Mm-hmm. And come back for next week's episode where we hopefully have other drama, spicy stories that, you know, cause more of a reaction and is more Latina infused.
Exactly.
The telenovela that it should be and is supposed to be. That was the Chisme for today.
And if your tia has a better story, let us know.
Literally a better story. But yeah, thank you for tuning in and see you next time.
Hasta la próxima.
Bye.